Good morning. This is Aleph with the Divorcee Cafe, and today we are going to talk about some things that probably should be put into your decree that you're probably not thinking of right now. And to be honest, I didn't have any of this stuff in my decree. So we're going on hindsight is 2020. I think that when you're going through a divorce and you're making up your decree, you're in the present mind, focus on what needs to be in there and not, 5, 10 years, 15 years down the road. You're not really thinking that far because you're in the thick of it. But if you have young children, there's some things that are helpful to have in the decree, at least written in, that will save stress and aggravation later on. I think one of the things that people overlook when they have children and they're doing their decree is when to set your vacation for the year and summer camps. Those are like two things that I realized that my ex and I did actually really well. We actually did vacation planning and summer camp planning really well. But at the time, I was in a relationship and they did not. So it created a lot of aggravation and chaos during a time when you're trying to set up summer camp schedules. And anyone who has had a kid who is dealing with summer camp knows that you need to kind of plan summer by February, or else all the good summer camps are booked. So, what I would recommend that would have helped my stress level is if you and your ex put in your decree that you're going to divvy up your summertime vacation time by February, because you're going to need to plan your summer camp schedule by March, because summer camp schedules come out the beginning of March, and having it in the decree that by the end of February you need to know your vacation schedules makes it easier to plan for summer camp. When you start getting into a blended family situation and things start to ripple outwards, where it's not just your family unit, it's other people's family unit and their other parent, boyfriends or girlfriends, like there's so many ripples that it becomes this continuous moving pieces of how to arrange summer camps and vacation schedules to accommodate everyone. I mean, think about it. You get divorced, you get into a new relationship, your ex gets in a new relationship. Maybe those people are divorced and they're in new relationships. So there's so many moving pieces and so many kids and so many different vacation times that are possible. If you can put it in there where your vacation time in summer camp gets decided by March, that will save you a lot of headache down the road, especially if your ex, your boyfriend or your girlfriend's partners have the same thing in their decree. It makes it easier to plan your summer vacation time. Some of the other things that you might want to consider is how to deal with extracurricular activities. Now, what I learned, this is something I did have put in my decree, is that a basic decree does not handle extracurricular activities. That is something that you need to actually put into your decree if you're going to be sharing the responsibility of payment of those extracurricular activities like football, soccer, dance, art lessons, that kind of thing. Having it put in there that you're going to share 50-50 will help alleviate the pressure of you always having to carry it, because maybe you're the custodial parent and you don't have shared parenting. If you have that in the decree, then both of you are bound to pay 50%. Now, there's a caveat to that. I think that there needs to be a discussion about the extracurricular activities, and it can't just be like, well, I'm just going to sign this person up for soccer and that person needs to pay for it, or I'm going to sign up for ski lessons and that person needs to pay for it. I think there needs to be an awareness that if you're signing something up that goes across both parents' time, there needs to be some communication. If you're signing someone up for extracurricular activities that are only on your parent time, then you should handle the payment on that and not expect the other person to pay, and not be, an annoying person and be like, well, it's in the decree and you have to pay half and I signed up. Yeah, that's not how it works. And that creates an antagonistic situation. And I don't think anybody wants to go there. Some of the other things that I've heard people suggest being put in the decree, which I don't agree with, is dating time limits. Like there's a lot of things that come up on divorce message boards about, oh, I should put in the decree that my ex can introduce their boyfriend or girlfriend to the children within 6 months. And you know what? I think that that's chaining people to, a decree that's just going to cause problems down the road. That's trying to control somebody else's life. And I think that it should be up to the individual parent to decide when they're going to introduce their boyfriend or girlfriend. But that's just my personal thing. So I don't usually recommend that if someone asks me, because I feel like it's trying to exert too much control. Some of the other things that you can put in there is grandparent time. I think that there are some things that I've seen come up in message boards about grandparents taking over, caring for the child instead of the parent. I think that comes up a lot with moms who get upset that their joint parent time, that the kids automatically go over to the grandparents' house and the ex doesn't take care of the kids. I think there needs to be a clear delineation of what grandparent visits and time looks like, so that it doesn't fall into the grandparents caring for the child rather than the other parent stepping up and taking care of his or her own parent time. I think that's important, because if the child is going to the other parent's house, it's to have parent time. Grandparent time is that next sub level of that. I think there also should be something put in there as far as respect for the new step parents or the new co-parents in other people's lives. I know that from my experience, I've seen both sides. So I've been the bio parent as my daughter has, has a stepmom, and I've been the sort of stepmom, for 7 years where I had a very antagonistic relationship with my ex-boyfriend's ex-wife. So I've seen both sides, and there were times it got really ugly on both sides. And I think putting it in there that there needs to be an element of respect, and what's the word that I'm looking for? Not being a mean person and unkind about the biological parent or the step parent. There needs to be a mutual awareness of the other person in their life, and that people coming into that child's life are not trying to take away love from the other parent. So I think there needs to be something as far as verbiage to protect people that you can't trash. Like in my current relationship, his ex trashed me on Facebook last Christmas or the Christmas before, and that's not okay. That crosses a line. You don't trash me on Facebook. So when they did their decree, there was some sort of phrasing that you need to be respectful of the other people in the children's lives. It's better for the children in the long run, because then they're not feeling divided and conflicted. Because I know that my daughter would come home sometimes and go, so and so told me that I shouldn't love you because you're a horrible mom, and that made me feel sad. So things like that, it hurts children. So if you can put that in your decree, that people need to be respectful and refrain from defamation or being unkind to that other parent or the other step parent, it's important for the mental well-being of the child. Let's see, what other things? I think that being aware of when you're going to children's performances or to their games, that both people can show up with their other significant other peoples. I've heard people wanting to put in their decree, well, only the parent should come to the performances, and I don't agree with that. I think that there should be an acceptance and an openness for the parents to take whomever they want to these different sorts of events. I would also think about whether or not you want to put in there that only parents go to parent-teacher meetings. That was something that I didn't have put in there. And I think that if this is my personal thing, If you have a child and it's both of your child's, those two parents should be the ones in the teacher meetings. Um, I personally don't see how having step parents added into a parent teacher conference adds to it. I don't know. That's just me. Um, so anyway, these are a few things that I've kind of run across as far as things. Main thing is setting a vacation schedule for when you need to set up a time for when you're going to plan your vacation. My ex and I, we naturally did it by February, because by March was summer camp. So by February, I was emailing him when I was going to Rhode Island. He was emailing me when he was going to Turkey. We did summer camp and vacations beautifully. Sharing the responsibilities for extracurricular, super easy. It was like, here's the summer camps, here's the dance classes, this is your portion, and it was done. Because it was in the decree that we would share that. I did not have a lot of this other stuff put in there. I wish that I did. But things happen and you move and you grow. So I hope that these little things kind of help you to think about, what you should be thinking. You should be thinking 5, 10 years down the future and what you can incorporate at different age levels of your children. Driving, how are they going? What do they need for being able to get their driver's license? Do they need to have A's or B's? Do they need to be passing in order? Like, people need to be on the same page, because when it happens and the kids are like, well, mom says I can drive, but you're telling me I can't drive. If you've already set a baseline, then you're already on the same page. I know that these things are a lot to think about because you're right in the thick of it and you just want to get done. But when you start thinking about the future and how things are going to look, creating a baseline foundation for all of these potential issues will help you in the long run, because you'll have a decree to fall back on. So if you have any questions, you know how to find me. Divorcee Cafe on Facebook. There's the private conversations page that you can come and ask questions. Feel free to send me an email at divorceecafe@gmail.com and send me a message if you need to chat. I'm always here. Thank you. Talk to you soon.